Good evening. We are me here. Glad you stopped by. I'm going to give you a quick video here because this is not really set up anything. It's just my opinion. And of course we all have opinions, but I want you to listen to what I got to say here. And you draw your own conclusion. You know, since the Supreme Court made their decision, these Democrat-controlled states have been on a massive campaign push to install as much fear, as intimidating as possible, and make tons of restrictions, so you will not be able to exercise your constitutional rights. Now, here's the thing to this. The state politicians and lawmakers make law. You have to abide by them, right? Because you're in that state. But when it comes to the point that they have to follow the law handed by the Supreme Court, they thumb their nose up. Now, why do they do that? Now, first of all, if they're not going to obey the law, why should the average citizen do the same? Why? What's the reason behind all this? Look, they want to play God. They'll blame the Republican Party. The Republican Party blames the Democrat Party, and this goes back and forth. You know how that goes, right? Each one points fingers at each other. Then they turn around and point fingers at us and calling us everything under the sun. But in the end game, it's still the same process. Gun control, I always said, is nothing more than gives criminals a license to do whatever they damn well please. Gun control to us is they put restrictions on us. You're not allowed to go to churches, to restaurants, or points of entertainment, or any of that places, the malls, stores, outings, you know, things like that. Now they want to make it sidewalks, subway trains, or whatever, if you ride subways or buses. You know, the thing here is that we place all these restrictions on you, and they want to make it so, well, yeah, you can get a firearm permit, but guess what? You're not going to be able to use it. Or, you know, I said, you got to give your social media account. Or better yet, no, you got to give us your wife's history. Or you got to tell us how many people live in your home. I mean, the ridiculousness of this goes beyond common sense. But now, criminal? Oh, hey, you know, nothing of that. See, politicians don't want to hear that criminals don't obey the law. That's the old hat story. Nobody wants to hear it because they laugh at you. They know it. They don't care less. All they know is they got you to obey. You will obey. We'll lock you up because we know where you live. But when it comes to their criminal friends, and I call them friends because they just allow them to do whatever they want, who's going to stop them? Law enforcement's hands are tied, unless they're in with them, right? They don't have to worry about, you know, restricted areas, school zones. No. They want to knife somebody. They want to slice somebody's throat. They want to rob, rape, murder them. They want to punch them in the face, drive their head into the concrete. Yeah, if they got a gun to shoot. Yeah, I mean, crime does what it wants. But you, no. You are restricted. You don't have that kind of right. You have no rights whatsoever. This is the point that makes no sense. I don't know how anyone in their right mind this party is, and some of these Republicans who sympathize with them, join them, or sign any bill that puts in front of them by them, will allow open borders, drive your economy down to nothing, high inflation, food shortages, and lie to you about how great the economy is, and make deals with China, and sell farmland to China, sell farmland to anybody who wants to come in here. Make sense? No, doesn't make sense. But these politicians are what they are. They want to play God. They want to control everybody. They forget about the mass graves over in Mexico by drug lords and drug dealers. They forget about human trafficking. They forget about the human carnage in Syria. They forget about what happened in Iraq when the ISIS broke loose. The mass murders. The Boston War, when that war took off, a whole new meaning of mass graves. And they're still digging them. Ukraine, dealing with mass murder. This is when governments have so much power they can just do whatever they damn well please. And nobody's going to stop them. Why? Because we've taken everything from you. You're not expendable. We could care less about you. The only time we like you is when you obey. When you don't obey, we'll just get rid of you. People need to way look at this. Because if politicians are going to ignore the Supreme Court, why should we pay attention to what they do? Only a fool surrenders his or her firearm. And they're just getting away with whatever they want to get away with. Because their attitude is, you can't touch us. We're untouchable. Well, maybe there is a way. And the Constitution makes it very interesting that, if we are spiritually threatened, morally, physically, or economically, we do have the right to remove people through petition and through legalization through the Constitution. And if they still don't want to obey that, then we take it to other parts of government. If they still don't want to do it, then we ask the military to step in. That's how it works. We don't have to leave a finger. But the problem lies is the corruption goes unchallenged. Administrations make deals with China, make deals with Russia. Yeah, he flexes muscles towards us, though. Oh, yeah. When politicians ignore the people, regardless you're Republican or Democrat, you're new damn different. You all need to go. This red wave I hear so much about, this blue wave I hear so much about, I don't care, one way or the other at this point. I care about will you honor the rights of the Constitution, period. I don't care what party you're from. I voted Democrat and had some Democrats who owned firearms and believed in the Bill of Rights. Not these slap-happy idiots who just sit there and just run their mouth and act like they're powerhouses. Yes, the Democrat Party is very powerful. Yes, they have vast amounts of resources at their fingertips. Yes, they are highly and politically connected inside the United States and outside the borders of the United States. And vast amounts of money were needed. No wonder Republicans bowed their knees to these guys. Because that's how they stay in office. Like Mitch McConnell and quite a few others who sold your rights down the street. Probably turn around and sell their own mom too while they're at it. These are not the people we want in office anymore. They abused the system. They abused the American people. They lied to the American people. 4 years we dealt with this Russia collusion nonsense. You know what? You think anything's going to happen to it? I don't. But yes, that person's going to run again. Oh, Hillary Clinton. Like I'll admit, it's pretty hilarious. Then you got the rush. Then you got the phone call, another one. And now we got this January 6th where Cheney is heading this entire massive investigation. And yet, when you start hugging witnesses, there's something wrong somewhere. And yet, when the witnesses just hasn't even been in the car, yeah, that's just as bad as the Ukraine phone call. Who was on the call? I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Who was on the call? It was Matt Gaetz, I think, said that. Who was on the call? Nobody. Let the record show. And yet you got two Secret Service agents who were in the call, and yet they turned right around and said, guess what? They were liars. Well, they're liars. Why did they sell agents for? Politicians, these Democrats, are liars, liars, and liars. Period. You have a constitutional right to defend yourself. You have a constitutional right to exercise your rights, which they want to strip from you anyway, which is dangerous. They want to play God, which is more dangerous. Come November, do some real serious soul searching. There are Republicans, we can put new Republicans in. There are better Democrats, that we can put better Democrats in if you want to vote Democrats. Sometimes I think them voting Democrat right now is not a very good thing. And I ain't too keen on Democrats these days. So, right now, let's see what the Supreme Court's going to do. And what these politicians in these control states are doing is completely, totally illegal. I'm sorry, I got the windows open. These little guys are rice burners. But yeah, this is something that really should take full precedence, because using your rights are trying to strip from you. They don't care whether you get hung up in something that's not even your fault. All they want to do is protect their people, whoever their people is, because they're sure as hell not worried about you. All these Democrats and these Republicans, there's these sidekick Republicans. Again, another one. You have a right to defend yourselves. They don't want to obey this Constitution of the United States. They don't want to obey by the Supreme Court. Maybe we should also do the same thing. You don't want to obey the Supreme Court, then we need to take a different route to this. Put the petitions out there, and then see if that goes anywhere. And they who still refuse to disobey that, then we take it to the courts ourselves. If we demand either that the courts to do something, or if the courts can't do something, then I guess we just take it to the military. Whatever it takes to get this country back where it's supposed to be. Too many people are giving up their lives. Till then, keep your friends and family close. Catch you around.